the posing at the end. I was like, we're going over to the spot. And you're like, I don't care. Let's do it here. And I was like, this is shirt off time. And I was like, all right, fuck it. And then we did obviously the singlet. And then you were convinced the shirt was coming off. And I was like, I didn't even think about it at the time. But now think like to stand in the middle of the dumbbell area. Yeah. Just like, all right, shirt's off. Let's go. Yeah. Fuck, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, 12 months ago, it wouldn't happen.
No.
Yeah.
No. It's like a huge, like...
I didn't want to do it in the private gym 12 months ago.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
I didn't even, I'm the same.
Yeah. I think, like, as, like, obviously I work with women exclusively and, like, constantly talk about body image on social media. Like, it's one of my, biggest topics that I'll talk about. Yeah. It's been really cool to get to know both of you as, like, friends and colleagues and athletes. Oof. And... Yes. I will make your heads a lot bigger. We're going to have to adjust those headphones very soon. No, it's been... and being closer with males, because, like, truthfully, like, I don't have a lot of close male friends. So, like, getting closer, I'm really getting to know, like, your inner workings and watching your growth over the last couple of years and across the photo shoots. Like we were just saying, we've done, like, 6 or 7 since I started working here. Yeah. And in, 3 different states, 4 different cities, like, all of this stuff. And for you guys at Muscle City to be like, take your shirt off. Or no, I'm going to go back one. For you guys to have committed to your deficit as heavy as and compliant as you have, the last 2 years, like, it's been, you guys have, like, gone into cards. But this, you were, like, fucking locked in. Yeah. And that's why I would bully you in the middle of the gym floor and be like, take your shirt off. Because you should fucking celebrate that. And it's never going to be good enough for you. It's never. It's never going to be good enough. But in next April, when you're peak bulk, you're going to be like, I want to be Ben in the middle of Muscle City looking like that again. Yeah, I can't believe I was worried about weighing close to 80 kilos. Yeah. Right?
Saturday was like the first time I actually felt comfortable. Like, I just felt good. Yeah. Yeah, I've never felt that way. That's amazing. Crazy. I was like...
I'd say the same.
Yeah. I was just like, every shot looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, everything. I was blown away at that. Like, because normally I'm like, I walk in and I'm like, like, we always could do it with another month. Always, even now. But most of the time I was like, I'd be like, this isn't as good. It's not. Like, it's still a bit shit. Yeah. So it was a nice feeling to kind of go in and go, no, I'm happy with this.
Yeah. And like Jess said, especially for you, like, how dialed in you were.
Yeah.
It's the stack of proof thing, right? It's like, I've done the work.
Yeah. So it was fun.
I think as well, there's a lot of discomfort in someone else taking the photo and not having your tripod set up where you usually would, not holding your camera the way you usually would in the mirror, and like those sort of things, and like knowing that Tam might be coming from a different angle, but still doing the thing and still loving the shot.
I still have those apprehensions.
Yeah, of course.
like once they come out, because it's like, in a video you can basically just pick the frame. Yeah. So I'm like, fuck it. Like, I hope I put it together at the right time.
Yeah.
Of course. But
was my stomach pulled in on that side chest?
It's wild to me that you're like, obviously, like, you're comparing yourself to people that are on stage because there are endeavors and, that's like the world that you're in. But when you're like, like, midsection's still fat. And I'm like, I'm counting your abs and I can see your obliques.
Yeah, it's a tough standard to hold myself to. I don't know why sometimes I'm like, fuck, I've got to rein that in a bit.
Yeah.
But I get it. And I'm not going to tell you that as you are is perfectly fine. No, you want to be better. So continue to do the good thing until you get to where you want to be. Yeah. But right now where you are, I've never seen you in this condition. Yeah. So it's like, stop and celebrate where you are right now. Because last year, if you could see yourself right now, you'd be like, all right, you're all right.
Yeah. So that's a relative term, like fat. And like I see heaps of people get shitty with, particularly female space, like influencers that will be like, I'm so fluffy right now. And it's like, they still look fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Which someone who is 5 kilos, 10 kilos body fat higher than that's like, fuck you, man.
Yeah.
But
still their own
that's
feeling.
That's the standard that they're comparing themselves to, is either themselves leaner or whatever.
I'll interject on one thing here. There's a very big difference between Jason talking about his body fat percentage versus an influencer saying she feels fat. Jason doesn't feel an emotion. Fat is not an emotion for Jason.
Yeah, it's just you are or not.
Yeah.
That is, fat is a relative term to your body composition.
Yeah.
Whereas
it's
to
subjective.
correct.
The feeling is the thing. Yeah.
And I battle with it a lot as well. Like having, bodybuilding on this circle that's close to me and then being in the female only training space. Like I'm very particular about my language, but I don't princess about it either. Like I'm not going to not say something because I don't feel it.
Yeah.
Or I don't think it. Like it's, there's enough people that are that protective over there and that's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the biggest difference is that.
Yeah.
I'm feeling fluffy at the moment. You're feeling something that has nothing to do with the way you physically look and your body fat percentage.
Yeah.
And that's the problematic thing that you are talking about.
Yeah.
Whereas, you being like, I'm still fat. You're talking about your...
I still have body fat to lose.
This is the standard.
Correct.
This is the standard that I hold, and I'm not there.
And you're not hiding. You're not hiding the fact that you are trying to lose as much body fat as possible. Whereas the women that talk like that, the influencers that talk like that online, tend to have these really big body composition goals and hold themselves to a certain standard, but are living this false reality where they're acting like it's not as important as it is to them.
Or they act like they're way more body confident than they are.
Correct.
Like,
and that's
they're
where
trying to put on the facade that they have the power and the mindset and they love their body, and then they every now and then will just slip up and say something that's a little bit confusing to the people that are following them. Yeah, it's tough space.
I really battle with it. Like this year, having gone through all my health issues for 4 or 5 months and deliberately gaining weight. Originally, it was like as soon as my food went up, I gained like 3 kilos straight away.
Yeah.
But then that like held off. And it only went up 1 kilo after 4 months.
Yes, like food volume, muscle
correct.
glycogen, fluid.
I was sick. Like I was so fucking inflamed. It was ridiculous.
Absolutely.
But like, that held off and straight away it went up, but it stayed and it didn't move.
Yeah.
If it stayed going up at that rate, I would have been doing something wrong.
That's a problem.
Right. But I felt like I was like a fraud because I felt so poorly about myself, but I was still confident in my body. But there were days where I was like, I cannot be seen in a sports bra. So I still try to talk. I literally did it yesterday on my story, just being like, fucking size up in your clothes. Keep weighing yourself. It's like exposure therapy. Keep taking the fucking photos. Like, it's not going to matter.
That works. Like that exposure therapy thing.
Yeah.
Just keep weighing yourself.
Yeah, like 4 or 5 months ago, 6 months ago, I would never take my shirt off. Anywhere.
Yeah.
And like
100%.
anyway. Even Jackson was like, I never see you with no clothes on.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
come away with us, bro.
Well, only to the people closest to me.
To be
I
fair,
swear, if my friends are watching this, like, I can't go into detail, but yeah,
to be fair, happens. He does actually usually have a singlet on. Just pants are really optional.
Just step ones. But yeah, it's definitely the more you do it, the more comfortable you get. Because now I'm like, even when I was, so I look back at when I started my progress photos and the posing and stuff, and I was like, not in great shape for me, in my opinion, for myself. But I still did it. And then the more I do it now, it's like, even if I ever push the body weight back up in a growth phase, like I'll still do it. You know, which I think is great because you get to document the change, which is a great thing to do because if you don't change a lot, your body weight doesn't change much, or you just live by the scale and die by it. You need to have something else to reference to keep you in check.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know,
I think, it's a bit of acceptance as well. Like, if you see yourself in the mirror enough, or you put yourself in that environment enough, it's just like, oh, no one actually cares.
And that's it too.
Yeah.
No one gives a fuck what you're doing.
It was years ago now, but I went to a corporate Christmas party because I trained a bunch of the guys. All of them were over 40. Some of them pushing 50. None of them had abs, put it that way.
Yeah.
Or like would look impressive in a singlet. And it was at a house with a pool. I think it was only like one other guy didn't go in the pool. And I was like, no.
Yeah.
My client's like, how come you didn't? I'm like, I just didn't really want to take my shirt off. He's like, fucking what? Like, have a look who's around you. I'm like, yeah, but I'm just not at the moment.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, that's wild.
Yeah.
Think about that now. It's like,
that's fucked up.
Hey,
that's
and
that's like
deep, like,
and you would totally jump in now.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. When you think
it's
about it like that.
so last year when we did the photo shoot this time of year at that orange gym, in Truganina.
Yeah.
I was like, that was the first time I had kind of held maintenance because like when we started working together, it was a big recomp phase, lost a little bit of weight, like did all of that stuff, and I'd like held a maintenance, and I was like kind of uncomfortable. I was like fucking 59 kilos. But I was like kind of uncomfortable because I was like, oh, like I wasn't really cut for this photo shoot, but like I just showed up anyway.
I remember you saying that as well.
Yeah, and I was bloated because it was like the day before I got my period, and I was like, and then I got the photos. I was like, slay, whatever.
Yeah, jacked as fuck.
And then a year later, I've gained, so like I got to 64 kilos, which is the heaviest I've been in a while, like since having Parker. And for the photo shoot, it was timed because my birthday's at the end of January. So starting a cut was planned like the 3 months prior to that, including the breaks over Christmas, New Year. Yeah. And I was like, fine. Like the cut started like a week before the photo shoot, but I was like, I had to like have a conversation with myself and be like, you're wearing a sports bra and shorts to this. Yeah. Whether you want to, whether you don't want to. Yep, your stomach's going to hang over the top of the compression of your shorts more. You are not going to have any visible abs. Like you're not going to have any lines. Like you're not going to have any of this that you were so used to having and maintaining at a healthy body weight for so long. But like just fucking accept that. And literally like I didn't give a fuck because, I mean, you guys didn't give a fuck. My clients didn't give a fuck. No, and it's like literally no one cares. And like I know that's rich coming from me because like it's still a controlled surplus and I still like kept things in check and I blah 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 blah. Like I get that.
You still feel the way you feel though.
Correct. And it's like
you just need to have the other chat with yourself.
The other voice.
It's not
gonna be all right, man.
It's it's experiencing and feeling those feelings because I've never spoken to somebody, no matter how body confident they were, that those feelings still come up. It's just a matter of how they influence your actions.
Absolutely.
And if, you're getting these negative feelings towards the way you look or the way you feel in your clothes or whatever
it's
it
like
is.
affecting day-to-day stuff too.
If it affects your next meal and the amount you're eating in your next meal, or it affects the amount of cardio or output.
The mood you're in when you head out for a night out because you don't get to wear the outfit that
Correct.
you want or whatever.
Or if it's partner and all that. Yeah.
And like it is completely changing your wardrobe because it's not that deep, like it's not that different. Like all of those things are like, cool, if you feel the thing and do it anyway, it does continue to build that stack of proof and that confidence within yourself because I can almost guarantee you that no one's going to say anything.
Yeah.
And not that anyone else's opinions matter, but it doesn't feed that narrative in your head like, they think I look shit or they're going to compare me to my last photo shoot or they're going to do this or they're going to do that. It's all stories you tell yourself.
Yeah.
So it's just, like literally no one in the gym, like not that anyone knew you guys in the gym, but
someone did. Someone walked up to me.
Slay.
Yeah. Like, Jason? I'm like, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was blown away.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
I love that.
Because I'm famous. His name. I'm famous.
Is it Mitch? Sorry, bro. I know you listen to the podcast.
Yeah. I'm famous.
Yeah.
Love
and
that.
approachable, obviously, you're not.
Approachable.
No, I spoke to him as well.
No, he didn't speak to you.
The guy from Shepparton.
No, he told me he didn't speak to
you. Yeah.
Just me.
He told you specifically. I didn't fucking talk to Ben. Fuck that guy.
But like,
I was going to talk to Ben, but I'd rather talk to you.
Fuck that other guy. No, but like, you guys ripped your shirt off. No one said anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've taken my shirt off in that gym so many times.
Yeah. No one said anything. No one gives a fuck.
Yeah.
Like, I think good. We all just, love this. Turn to a body confidence chat. I'm going to share this with all my clients.
Everyone getting a deep look into how twisted our minds are.
Yeah.
No, I think it's normalizing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not normalizing, yes, holding yourself to a standard and your standard is ticking the boxes every day regardless of how you feel. That's the standard that you hold yourself to.
Yeah.
Your strict, regimented lifestyle. You have a goal, you set it, you're going to get there. Done.
Yeah.
That's not without you having the self-doubt, being self-conscious, and all of those things, but you still show up, you still eat the food, you do the cardio, you do the thing, and at the end of it, you're going to increase your food, you're going to increase your body fat, and you're going to do all of those things.
Yeah, it's understanding there's necessary things to happen, right?
Correct.
And they go both ways.
There's challenges.
Adding the weight and feeling uncomfortable to put the size and the progress, make the progress.
Yep.
And then it's also obviously going the other way to peel the body fat off to see that progress being made.
Yep.
It's all discomfort. And I think that this is a really important conversation to have for women and men, because at the end of the day, the inner monologue is all the same. And yeah, I think it's important for people to hear, because I'm sure that when these photos from the photo shoot come out, you know, like Jace, I think it was yesterday, you posted that I really liked that post that you did about how uncomfortable you felt peak bulk last year. That was last May, I think. That was the the end of year one.
It was when we went to Goldie. Yeah, so it was like end of
this year, March.
Oh yeah, it would have been March.
It was in March.
Yeah, so it was just after the hot cross bun diet, which I was actually pushing the weight. So
you got hot cross buns while we were there.
Yeah. But yeah, like
That's when I was peak weight management.
Yeah,
I remember. We really need to tie this up so we're at the same.
Always flipping and flopping. But yeah, I know. Yeah, that was not. I did not feel great that day, but I did it anyway.
But no one, like, I didn't, like, I look at those
I remember
photos.
Bridget was like, "Oh, big looks good on you."
Yeah,
that's what she said to me. I was like, "Oh, cool." Because I feel fucking terrible.
And that one compliment, I think this is another thing. Like, you don't always want to compliment people on the way they look, but if they have a physical endeavor, like that one compliment that Bridget said to you in March has stuck with you.
Yeah,
like it's so nice.
Yeah, I got that on Saturday after we did the rows, and then we did the back poses, and like for those that work with Jason or spent time with Jason, doesn't just throw him around.
No,
and he's just like, "You look great, bro," and I was like, That's like as strong as it comes from Jay. So I was like, for the rest of the day, I'm fucking gone. It's fine. We're on from here.
Yeah.
So, but you know, you were peak bulk. You knew what was coming, and it was just another necessary step in your journey.
Yeah. Do you think people don't, if they understood some of those feelings are normal for the pursuits that like are necessary for their goals, do you think that sits better with them after that? Like, have you ever had a conversation with one of your girls and you're like, you know, so you want to build your glutes, you want to build your delts, you want to build, you know, more muscle in your back. We're going to have to push the calories, and there's going to be periods where like you're going to feel heavy, slow, you might smooth out a little bit, but if we don't go through those periods of feeling that way, we're not going to make the progress that we want.
Yeah.
And then obviously you want to give them the comfort of like, hey, we're not going to let this get away from you, because like
Correct.
You don't need to turn into like, you know, Lee Priest in his off season where he puts on like 40 kilos or whatever. So you obviously giving them confidence like, hey, we're not going to let this get too far away from you, but you are going to need to understand that for us to make the progress that you want, that has to kind of happen to a degree. Like, is that something that
I definitely, I think it takes a lot more, like I'm a lot heavier on the setting the standard before entering any phase, whether it is a cut, whether it is, you know, the holding phase, which I liked you, like, you know, the holding maintenance phase or the surplus, like setting that standard early, I think is really important. And I think that our clients don't pick us because we have like big social media followings or a big app or like this, that, the other. They pick us because they like us. And I think that sharing your own journey on that as well and knowing how you feel about it, they feel more comfortable with it. Because I can't tell you as a female that coaches females how many of my clients are more comfortable gaining weight this year.
Yeah.
Because they've seen me and they're like, oh, it's okay.
Yeah, it's normal.
It's normal. And setting the standard of not doing the thing where you're like, you're going to feel like shit.
Yeah, you're not like, creating that self-fulfilling prophecy of like, all right, this is going to happen. So
this is going to be hard.
I'm going to be moody. I'm going to be this.
Correct. But telling them like it's, like you've spent your whole life, especially like, you know, I'll say like, especially women, like you spend your whole life wanting a little bit like tiny little waist and like big glutes and blah, blah, blah. But in order to get what you want, your waist is going to have to get a little bit bigger, but proportionately to the rest of your body, it's actually not as bad as you think it's going to be. Like you've done cut after cut. You've done all of these things and you've never found a point of complete satisfaction because the missing piece is doing this.
Spending a bit of time in a build.
Yeah, and, you know, it's reassuring of the process. Like I think people have this misconception that it's like food goes up, food goes up, food goes up, but it's like, no, your food's probably going to hold for a really, really long time.
Like, you don't eat as much as you think.
No. And you're going to feel better. You're going to train better. And the pros far outweigh the cons of sizing up in your scrunch bum shorts.
Yeah.
Like the pros far outweigh it. But it's definitely an important conversation and understanding the emotional effects of weight gain and taking away the stigma that weight gain equals bad.
Yeah. Yep. Just like for the people listening, like if I look at the girls particular, because this conversation is more targeted towards it, the ones that make the most progress in the last 18 months from my group are the ones that spent 10 to 13 months in a build.
Yeah.
Like 10 to 13 months.
Yeah.
Made ridiculous progress. But people only take notice once they do the cut.
Yeah.
And then they're like, holy fuck, where did this come from?
Yeah, from the diet. Yeah.
And it's like, well, this person walked around, 7 to 8 kilos heavier for a whole year and trained hard and felt great energy-wise. But obviously there would have been moments where they're like, oh, I feel uncomfortable. But we never let it get too far away, but it's still way smoother than what they would like. But then the flip side of that is once they do the diet, which everyone knows the diet part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you don't want to look the same, if you don't want to look the same the next time.
Everyone attributes the result, and that's where I think people get trapped with competing for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Everyone looks at the result is the prep or the cut or the last 6 weeks on the platform.
Well,
oh, you went from like pause squatting 80 kilos and you just squatted 140 on the platform. Like, I just want to do the powerlifting prep.
Yeah.
I want to do, you look fucking amazing on stage. I want to do the bodybuilding prep or the photo shoot or whatever. It's like, what about the work that went in?
Yep. The prep
the
before
12
the
months
prep.
before that, that earned you the right to capitalize at the end.
Yeah.
It's an interesting observation.
The 12 weeks before the event is exposing the 12 months prior.
It's expression,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's all
Whether
it is.
Whether it's strength or physique, it's
Correct.
an expression of the work done.
It's just showing you the work. Yeah, exposing what you've done. And I say exposing because if you haven't done the work, then you're going to look the same.
Exposed.
Or your strength is going to not have increased or whatever it is.
Yeah. Because like I'm getting it now too. So once LJ was born, was like, I'm watching my old powerlifting videos from when I was real big. Like, fuck, my arms were so small, man. Like, I was just torso. So it was like going back physique style training because it'll work. Arms, chest. That's all I care about. Let's go.
Yeah.
And now
that's the ultimate pro.
Yeah.
Now everyone's like, fuck, man, like your shoulders, your chest, your whatever. Like, they've changed so much, and they mean in the cut.
Yeah.
And it's that same idea. It's like, I only really dieted hard for 10 weeks.
Because you get to see once the chisel down.
Out of 9 months, so that means I was putting on size for what's that, 7 months? 6 to 7 months.
You don't get to see if it's working or not.
That no one's going, fuck, like, that looks bigger, that looks whatever. It's like, but once you pull it in, like, oh, wow, that happened.
Yeah, absolutely.